Hi, this is Dan from Magic Pachinko Restorations, and this video is designed to give you a heads up on how to set up a Nishijin Model B. This is obviously Nishijin Model B. Most all of them look exactly like this. The color of the plastic may change here and there, but that's what they look like. That's a Model B layout. So this is a fully restored machine. It's all nice and clean, ready to go. So let's assume that you've had one shipped to you, you've taken it out of the box, gotten rid of all of the packing material, and so on and so forth. So there's a number of things you need to do before you get ready to play. If the feet had been taken off, these stabilization feet, there would be a couple of feet and some screws. You just run the screws back up through into this board, and then you've got a good stable base for the machine. There is you may or may not have a catch box. This will go down in this area. The balls will exit down this side chute here, and occasionally out this chute here also. Okay, so you want to make sure your catch box is where you need it. Now, during shipping, any number of things can get jostled out of place, but for this video, we're going to assume that most everything is fine. In other words, nothing needs to be adjusted on the back. So the first thing you're going to look for on a Model B is this latch right here. And it's horizontal, it's hooked up to a rod here, and it pivots. Now that goes out to the front of the machine where the little hole is, and if you were to take a small rod or something and push it into that hole, it pushes down on this and would release this catch. That allows all of the balls in this area to exit the machine. That's a maintenance thing. Typically in home use you never need it, but before you get ready to play, you need to make sure that this is pushed over to the right and it locks in place like that. So what that does is that now allows the balls to continue and go into the jackpot chamber rather than exiting. So again, when you get your machine, this is in this position, make sure you push it to the right. If you put balls in and you don't shove it to the right, they're going to just clatter out of the machine and probably go all over the floor and make a mess. The second thing that you need to do is make sure that your seesaw chamber or your seesaw itself is set right. It's nice with the clear plastic. You can actually see in here, or you should be able to see, I hope, on the video. There's a piece of white plastic in there that is on a down slant like this. Right end down, left end up. That needs to be in the exact opposite position, right end up, left end down. And right here is a little rod that you can push up on, and that pushes your seesaw back up into this position the way that it's supposed to be. When a winning ball comes into the machine, it will run down to the end of the seesaw. That weight will let it tip and let it continue down through the machine, and then it will automatically reset back to this position. But initially you want to make sure it's here, not here. If it's down here the first time you play and get a winning ball, it won't pay out. So make sure it's here, and again you just push like this. Okay? So those are the two things you want to look for. Third thing, whether or not you have, what type of power supply you have on your machine. When I do the restores, I do a 12-volt system with a little wall plug. So you're going to plug this into power. And when you plug that in, up in this area on most Model Bs will be an incandescent bulb that will light. It's worked off of this switch here, so that when there are no balls in the machine, it makes this contact and turns on the lights. This particular machine has LED lights that I put in per the customer's request. When you do put, actually I'll do it in just a second, but when you put balls in, this weight transfer lifts this arm up off the switch and that light will go out. So that light should only be on when you need pachinko balls put in the upper hopper. So I recommend 300 to 500 pachinko balls. I also recommend that you get brand new pachinko balls and not use the ones that may have been in your machine. They tend to get rusty and certainly have hand oil and smoke residue on them. That's all stuff that's not good for the machine. Restored machines have been completely cleaned, and that's the way you want to keep them. So make sure you get some nice new pachinko balls. Again, with this being in the proper position, I'm going to dump a bunch of balls in here, and they're going to travel down through and stop at the jackpot chamber. And you want to put about 95% of the balls that you bought for the machine in the upper hopper, or until it's full. It will support the weight. It's got plenty of screws in it to support the weight. So again, the balls queue up into a double row. They go into the turnaround, come down here, and then they'll go on either side of the jackpot chamber. There's 7 pachinko balls on either side here, and when the machine does cycle, it will release those balls and they'll go out through the front of the machine, and we'll see that in just a second. So that's the way you set the machine up ready for play. I'm going to turn it around now and we'll actually show the machine in action here. So the rest of your pachinko balls are going to go in the upper tray, They funnel down and feed into the machine. Right now you don't see it, but on most pachinkos there's a flag here when there's not enough balls to play. Some machines that have been restored, the restorers or previous owners will defeat that. It just won't be there. I like to leave it in for authenticity, but if you see a flag in this area, that means there's not enough balls in the machine and your light should be on. But right now there's plenty of balls in the machine, the flag is not there, and the balls have fed down into the machine. Now the first time you launch a ball, nothing will happen because it takes one cycle of the launcher to get a ball actually onto the launch ramp. So when I press down on the launch ramp and let go, you won't see anything happen. Now there's a ball on the launch ramp internally, and it will launch the ball. And right away I got a win, which is unusual because the machines are not set to win all the time, obviously. But what you notice on that particular machine is that the center attraction lit up, and also this lit up over here. Now on this particular machine there's still 2 incandescent bulbs behind the center attraction that were on originally the machine. And over here, originally there would have been 2 more incandescent bulbs that would have lit up this red piece of plastic since it's translucent. Again, per the customer, I put LED lights in there so you'll see them light up singly when we get another win, if we get one. There's a win. So that'll light up, and then the LEDs light up in there. All right, so that's typical. Either something over here will light or something in the center will light, depending on how your machine is set up. And again, right now, these lights are off because we've got plenty of pachinko balls in the machine. If you start to run low on pachinko balls, you're going to press here. That lets the balls from here drop down into the lower tray. And then with a freestanding machine, you just go up and over and drop them into the supply hopper. It's pretty easy to do. If you've got it mounted in a cabinet, then you've got to open the cabinet so you can get at the supply hopper. There's really no skill to pachinko. It's really a luck game, but you can kind of control where the ball goes by how far you press down on your launch handle and how quickly you let go. If I go all the way down and let go, it's going to shoot the ball way over to this side. It will hit this bumper and come back. If I don't go quite all the way down, I can get it to stay more on the other side of the machine. So it kind of depends on you'll develop a knack for putting the ball where you want it. It doesn't always work that way, but that was not quite enough. If it doesn't go up far enough, it will come down and just come out down here, so you don't have to worry about that. I don't know if you noticed or not, this tulip was open. When it's open, it's a much bigger target for the ball. When it's closed, it's a little bit tougher. This particular machine, when you put a ball in here or here, it will open this tulip, again, making it a little bit easier for you to win. So that's how you set up and play a Nishijin Model B. Hope you enjoy it for years to come. Thanks.